A very common question I get asked in all golf lessons, whether I'm doing an online lesson on Skillist or I'm doing a one-to-one lesson on a driving range or a golf course, is how far do I stand away from the golf ball? And I always say the one thing that should remain constant is the relationship between you and your golf club. The golf ball will always change distance away from your body based on the length of the club. I mean, for example, I've got a driver here going down 4-iron and 9-iron, and the difference in the length of the club, 3 very different lengths, okay? So my distance from the golf ball will change with every single golf club I use. Also, it might even change a little bit based on ball position. If I play a bit further back in the stance, it could feel like it's a bit closer. So one thing that has to remain constant is your setup. And really, setup is determining how far away you're going to be from the golf ball. No real kind of way, there's no real other way of measuring it because everyone's different, okay? The best one I would say is kind of measuring it on your lead thigh. And it's a very, very approximate, basic, it's not good enough for me if I'm honest, but it's not the worst way to check it. So I'm going to tell you what that is as well, just so you can kind of give it a little go and kind of decide for yourself. But the most important thing is posture. So if I take my setup with a 9-iron, ball position goes in the center, what I want to try and see, I want my shoulders and my arms, I want my hands to be directly under my shoulders and my shoulders over the top and just past my toes, okay? So I want to feel like my shoulders are here. If my shoulders are more back, then I'm going to need to stretch my arms away from my body. Now I've got poor posture, so the distance of the ball really doesn't matter because I've got poor posture. I'm not going to be able to move very well anyway. So I want to just tilt forward, allow my shoulders to go past my toes, let my arms just dangle naturally, and I'm going to stick a golf club in there. That's my distance from the golf ball, okay? That's going to remain constant for every single golf shot. When I get to my 4-iron, believe it or not, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take my setup. Ball position is going to go a little bit further forward in my stance. And guess what? My shoulders are going to go just in front of my toes, just approximately there, with somewhere within a couple of inches. I'm going to take my grip. Just going to let my arms hang naturally. I'm going to put the grip in my hands, and I'm ready to go. And the same is going to happen as I'm going to demonstrate with a driver. I'm going to take my setup with the driver. Posture, shoulders are going to go in front of my feet. I'm going to take my grip, okay? Oh, and that is my distance from the golf ball. So three very different distances from my body because of the length of the club. But one thing that remained constant was the quality of my posture and my setup. Now the drill I was talking about before is this one. So if I take my setup, so again, you've got to have good posture to be able to measure it. Shoulder goes in front of my toes, good setup, arms just kind of hanging naturally. And if I just rest the club on my lead thigh, it generally lands below, a couple of inches below the seam of a pocket, so the inside of a pocket, and a couple inches, or maybe 4 inches, above your left knee. But what you should find is they will all land in approximately the same position. So it's an easy way on the golf course of kind of maybe going, yeah, that's pretty good. Sometimes if you're too close, it'll be too high, too far away, it'll be too low. So it's a very good, brief way, basic way of checking it. And for some and most golfers, that's enough because it gives you the confidence that you are stood in the right place. But to get it absolutely perfect, which is what I like to do, try, obviously, is get the posture correct to start with. So make sure your distance away from the golf ball is determined by how good your posture is. Shoulder in front of your lead foot, arms hang naturally, take your setup, and off you go. You're in a great position. The shaft angle is approximately 45 to 50 degrees. If I was stood too far away from it, I might be too low. If I'm stood too close to it, the shaft angle might be too high. So the quality of your posture will affect the distance you are away from the golf ball. So get the posture correct, and your distance from the golf ball will also be correct as a result. Don't segregate distance away from the golf ball as a completely separate part of your setup position. The quality of your posture will determine that. Guys, I hope this video has helped. If it has, please do hit the like button. Also, please do subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. Loads more kind of quick tips coming like this to the channel, because again, there are questions that I get asked a lot, and they can be answered very simply by doing other things correctly and better to get these sort of little things, niggly things, correct as well. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in future videos.